So one of the most highest valued skills in today's marketing industry is the ability to run online advertising campaigns. In fact, there are companies out there willing to offer up to 65 grand a year just to run, grow and manage their online Amazon advertising. Hi there, could I speak to Selina please? So if you're currently selling products at the moment on Amazon and running sponsored listing, advertising, PPC campaigns, but you're not really seeing the results that you want, I've made this video to answer a load of questions which I know anyone currently running Amazon advertising campaigns will be desperate to know the answers to. And I'm going to be answering all of these questions using a free tool which you can get your hands on immediately to get all of the data you need to see on how your advertising campaigns are comparing to other products in your niche and in your category. Are you on par? Are you better? Are you worse? This tool is going to explain it all. It's free, which I'm actually quite shocked about, but I can't imagine it will be for long. I'll leave a link in the video description and pin it in the comment to get your hands on it right now if you want to. And it's going to allow you to follow along with the video as I explain how to use the tool to optimize your campaigns for more profit, more sales, and more growth.
Come on, do it.
Seriously,
Seriously, do it. Do it. Do it.
So if you've been running campaigns and you've ever wondered, how do you know if you're even doing a good job with PPC? How do you optimize your campaigns to reduce your advertising cost of sale? What sort of data do you even need to be looking at in order to optimize your advertising campaigns? And if you've ever wondered exactly where your advertising is falling short, whether it be cost per click, conversion rate, click-through rate, and how these all stack up to the competitors in your category, then this video is going to show you exactly how to dive into all of that data and take action to improve it and optimize it for the future. This is the sort of information that would have been absolutely gold dust a couple of years ago, but obviously the industry moves on, the software that Amazon sellers are using is getting better and better, and the Amazon sellers themselves are getting more and more competitive. So it's vital that you keep up with these tools that are being released and ensure that your listings, your advertising is on top form and you can drive through a profit and grow your brand. So before we get into the real juicy details and tutorial, if you're completely new to Amazon PPC, I have done a how to advertise on Amazon beginner's guide video, which I'll leave a link to in the description as well. So if you are completely new, I would recommend checking that out. Otherwise, if you want a bit of a head start, take some notes and go and review it after this video. Right then, on to the good stuff. So we're going to be doing this by using a benchmarking tool. Now, as I said, this is completely free, and if you're watching this on a desktop, it might be worth clicking the link in the description, signing up to it now. Then you can follow along with the tutorial and get a better idea live of how to interpret the data and optimize it for the better. Although the benchmarking tool is free, there is a small cost, and that is essentially you've got to give this video a like, and if I'm not too painful and you can put up with me again, please hit the subscribe. I would massively appreciate it.
You stay classy.
So then, what is a benchmarking tool? Well, a benchmarking tool is basically a reference point of how well your Amazon advertising campaigns are doing and stacking up compared to other products in your category. So at last, we're going to see, are you spending a lot more on advertising than your competitors? Are you converting better than your competitors? Are more people clicking on your ads than competitors? You're going to see all this data once and for all, and the best thing about it is it's very actionable and it provides you a clear pathway of what you need to do to improve in order to reduce your advertising cost of sale and make more profit essentially, and make more sales and grow your brand. Don't worry too much if some of these terms I'm talking about sound a little bit technical. I'll be breaking down exactly what each one means and what you need to do specifically to improve each one. So make sure you stay tuned to the video because that is all coming up in a second. So how do you access this sort of level of information for your Amazon products? Well, the first step is to click the link in the video description. That will take you to the Sellics Benchmarking tool website. Again, it's completely free. You then want to click benchmark and then fill out some of your company information. It's then going to ask you to link your Amazon account. This is going to enable Sellics to pull all of that information from your Amazon account and present it in their software dashboard, which looks a little bit like this. So this is the top of the benchmarker. If we scroll down, it's just going to give us a complete overview of the advertising account performance, how many impressions we got, the click-through rate, the amount of clicks, our conversion rate, how many orders this has resulted in, what we paid on average per each click, how much we spent on ads and how much it returned in revenue, and what percentage of that was our advertising cost of sale. Scroll down a bit further into product analysis and we can see ACOS, conversion rate, click-through rate, cost per click, how much we spent on ads for this single product and how much that returned in advertising sales. Immediately you can see that Sellics have actually highlighted these in red, orange and green for areas in which your product is performing better on average than the competitors and where it's performing worse on average than the competitors. So taking this top product for an example, it's actually looking at pet supplies, dogs, carriers and travel in products. So that's a sub niche of pet supplies, again of dogs and into carriers and travel. So that's how niche down and how targeted you can see that this benchmarking report is actually going to be. So looking at our advertising cost of sale, we are actually way above where other competing products are in this category, which is a bit of a warning sign and shows us where this product is going to need to be improved and optimized in order to be competitive, basically. That's the same conversion rate. Click-through rate is actually within the average and cost per click is also a bit on the high end. So just scrolling down a little bit further, we can then see keywords, number of ASINs we're advertising, how many campaigns we've got, ad groups, some more information about this. The advertising format, so there's obviously sponsored products, which we're a lot more familiar with. This is essentially your standard PPC campaigns where you're putting your product, you're paying for your product to be at the top of the Amazon search results under certain keywords which you think are relevant to your product. Sponsored brands is referring to brands that have been registered with Amazon. So you basically need to have a trademark and you then need to register that trademark with Amazon and acquire brand registry. Brand registry allows you to provide more content onto your product listings and also add video content, certain display ads, advertisements to your store or selection of products as opposed to just a single product. This benchmark basically shows you how much competitors are spending on sponsored brands compared to sponsored products in your category. So scrolling down a little bit further and we're presented with our overall score for sponsored products. This account's obviously given us a 3.5 star performance as good. And these are the key metrics which our account is stacking up against and graded on. So what we need to remember, advertising cost of sale, we want this to be as low as possible. Cost per click, we also want this to be as low as possible. Click-through rate, we want this to be as high as possible. And the conversion rate, we also want this to be as high as possible. So as you can see, on average, our account is somewhere near the average for the rest of our competitors in the category. 25% versus 24%. Cost per click, we are spending way too much money per click compared to our competitors. Click-through rate, we are getting a lot more percentage of clicks than our competitors. That's a very good sign, and we've obviously been graded because of that. Conversion rate, we are also just about double where our competitors are in this category, which is also very good to see. So this is all great, obviously, but how do we actually use any of this data to improve our product listings and increase profits on our advertising? Let's have a look. So first of all, let me just explain what ACOS actually is for those of you that aren't familiar. ACOS stands for Advertising Cost of Sale and essentially tells you what percentage of the retail price you need to spend on advertising in order to acquire that sale. So for instance, a 50% ACOS would be a £5 advertising spend to sell a product which retails at £10. 50% of £10 is £5, and that's how much you spent on advertising to get that sale. So straight away you can see the lower you bring down your ACOS, the better and the more profit you're going to make. And also, if your ACOS is actually above your profit margin, say your profit margin is 50% and your ACOS is 60%, then you'll actually be losing money every sale you make. If your ACOS is at 50% and your profit margin is at 50%, then you're at a break-even ACOS. You're not making any money and you're not losing any money for every sale that you manage to generate through advertising. Obviously, if it's lower, then you're generating a profit. In some instances, a high ACOS isn't actually the end of the world, and if you're just launching a product, you can really afford to be running at a break-even advertising cost of sale, whilst you rank your product higher organically by generating a larger sales volume, which is going to push you up the rankings. Once you get to the top of the rankings, that's when you can sort of look at trying to optimize and bring down that ACOS. So to put this into an example, let's say that your advertising cost of sale is 50% and your profit margin is at 50%. Half your sales come from ads, half your sales come organically. You're making no money from your advertising sales, but you're making full profit from your sales that you generate organically. Therefore, your real profit margin would be around 25% because of half the sales are coming from a zero profit and half the sales are coming from a full profit. This is why it's so important and everyone wants to reduce their ACOS, because if you can bring your ACOS down to 20%, then you're suddenly making a 30% profit margin on all of your advertised sales and a full 50% profit margin on all of your organic sales, therefore bringing your total advertising cost of sale across your entire Amazon selling account up to around 40% if we assume that half come from organic, half come from advertised sales. Hope that makes sense. Please drop me a comment if I've explained that terribly. So back into the benchmark then. Now we understand what ACOS is, and assuming, for example, that the profit margin on all of these products is 40%, we can see that this top product is now losing money because it's above our profit margin. This one is making money. This one we're making a 30% profit margin on. This one we're about break even, etc., etc. The truth is, all of the other metrics on Amazon, click-through rate, cost per click, conversion rate, they all sort of like correlate and wrap into ACOS as a whole, because if you improve all the others, then your ACOS is going to improve as well. It's sort of like a resulting factor of improving all the other three. So with that being said, let's make our way down the list onto the next and most actionable key metric, which is click-through rate. So to explain what the click-through rate is, the click-through rate is basically a percentage of everyone that saw your ad, what percentage of those people actually clicked on it. So say if 100 people saw your ad, but only one person clicked on it, then you got a 1% click-through rate. So obviously we want the click-through rate to be as high as possible, as this means that any potential customer that sees our ad has looked at our image and title and thought, this product looks good, I'm interested, I want to find out more, I'm going to click. And if they do click, that's when you got them on the hook. So the best way to think about this is to look at what the customer is actually going to see when he is presented with that ad. He is going to see, number one, the main image. So your main image needs to be high quality, it needs to be relevant, and it needs to be in sync with the price and the title. And it needs to show your product in the best possible light in order to get that click from the potential customer. If you need some product images or high quality infographics done for your new products, or just existing products which you want to improve. I've already had a couple of people email me about product images and infographics just off the back of the last video. So if you want some new product images and infographics done, please feel free to drop me an email and I will be glad to help you sort that out. So what else is the customer gonna see when he's presented with your ad? Number two, price. Although the common consensus is to lower your price, I've actually found in the past that increasing my price, if you've got a really high quality product image and a really nice title, then you can actually create a bit of perceived value, and customers will actually click on your link inquiring about your product just because you're a little bit more expensive than the competitors. And this can also tie in with conversion rate as well if you've got everything in place. And this is sort of how you can get not only a better click-through rate than your competitors, but also a higher profit margin. So just something to bear in mind on that one. Number 3 is to add a voucher or a coupon. You can quite easily add a voucher or a coupon to your product just with a small 5 or 10% off discount. Customers actually have to input these manually when getting into the basket and the checkout phase, and a lot of the time this doesn't even happen. So you will actually find that you'll be making more sales, but not many people will actually be redeeming the offer, which is actually really beneficial because your products are getting a better click-through rate and you're not always giving away that offer. Number 4, which I've sort of touched on a little bit, is to adjust your product title. Although it's great to add keywords into your title, especially when you're starting off for purposes of indexing your product on certain search terms, if your product title is completely stuffed with keywords and doesn't read very well, then it's not so enticing for customers to actually click on your ad and find out more. So just take a look at your title. It might be worth actually taking some of the keywords out in order so it reads a lot better and better describes your product and entices more customers to click. Number 5, last but not least, target some better and more relevant keywords. If you're selling, for example, a watch and you're running adverts on men's gift keyword, your click-through rate is going to be very low because no one is specifically searching for a men's watch. They're looking for men's gifts in general. So just have a look through your advertising search report, especially if you're running broad match campaigns and automatic campaigns. You will find that Amazon will actually run your ads on suggested terms that aren't too relevant to your product. So if you just eliminate some of these, you'll suddenly see your click-through rate start to rise. So on to the absolute daddy of them all, the fundamental metric, which basically drives the rest of them, and that is conversion rate. That is the amount of people that actually click on your ad, how many of them then go to purchase and place an order. So this is calculated number of sales divided by the number of clicks times 100. That's your conversion rate. This is the metric that you want to concentrate on first. Before click-through rate, before cost per click, nail down and improve, increase your conversion rate. If you've got a massive click-through rate of 5% or whatever, and loads of people are clicking on your ad and you're paying for every click because it's Amazon PPC, pay per click, you're paying all these people to come onto your ad, but no one's actually buying, that's where you're losing money. So you need to reverse engineer it and work from the bottom up and look at conversion rate first. Remember, the higher percentage of people that click on your ad and place their order, the higher the return on advertising spend you're going to achieve. ROAS it's called, or return on investment. And a high one of them is absolutely beautiful. This also plays on to the organic listings as well, because if you improve your conversion rate for advertising sales, anyone that is not paying and just clicks on your ad from an organic search result, they're also going to be a higher percentage to place an order. And that's when Amazon's algorithm is just going to come together and just moon your listing to the top of the search results. So then, how do we actually improve our conversion rate? So let's think about it from not so much the shady salesman terms, but we've got the customer on the hook. We've got them to click on the ad. They're in, they're here. This is the time when we just eliminate all of their doubts that they might have before purchasing this product. We really need to sell our benefits, sell our features, and basically tell the customer that our product is going to solve the problem that they've got, it's going to improve their life, and we are a trustworthy company or brand to do business with. This is essentially where you close that deal and is the most important bit of the whole Amazon business. So forget what the customer's already seen. He's already seen the price, he's already seen the main image, and he's seen the title. He's now going to be presented with the rest of your images, which is the first thing you want to improve. You need high quality infographics and product images, lifestyle images, and maybe even some comparison images which show how your product solves their problem, why it's better than the competitors, why we're a trustworthy company to go with, and how this product is going to potentially improve their life. You need this all detailed, and a picture paints 1,000 words. You need to really sail home all of this information so the customer is just click, where, buy, click, where, buy, click, where, buy. That is the process, that is the mindset that you want the customer to have when they're looking and converting on your listing. The second thing that they're going to see, which they didn't see before, is product description and product features. This ties directly into the images, and you need to, again, don't worry too much about keyword stuffing. You just need to convince the customer that your product is of high quality, it's going to be a trustworthy brand. Really think about what your product has got which other competitors haven't, and try and sell it in the best possible light. The third thing that the customer won't see, which he's now going to be presented with, is the A+ content. I mentioned it previously in the video. In order to actually have A+ content on your listing, you're going to need to be brand registered with Amazon, and that's going to mean you're going to have a trademark for your brand. If you want to know how to get a trademark for your brand, please check out this video, which I've done a tutorial of how to get a trademark. You can then use this to be brand registered. Once registered, you can add A+ content, which is additional information, videos, more images, and that's going to appear underneath the product listing. And as the customer scrolls down to your reviews and potentially to click and buy, he's going to be dealt with more information, more branding, and this is really just a sort of confidence builder that he can trust you, he can do business with you, and your product is of good quality. Although I've talked a lot about how you can improve certain metrics, you can also actually chat to one of the Sellics professionals through the benchmarker, and they've also got a private Facebook group which I've just requested to join, which is basically going to be loads of people using the software and the benchmarker, how they're using it, how to find different metrics and basically improve their Amazon businesses, which is what we all want to do really, isn't it? So I hope that's been a very useful guide and tutorial of how to use the Sellics Benchmarker tool. Still can't really get over the fact that this is actually a free tool you can use, and the fact that the data that you can get from it is so usable and actionable straight away is really quite impressive. And I've also signed up for the Sellics 14-day free trial, which is basically access to their proper software monthly subscription service, which has got more and more details about how you can improve your Amazon listings. I managed to find another 5 fairly high searched keywords for one of my new products, which I've now added into my Amazon advertising campaign. And yeah, to be fair, I'm pretty impressed so far. So if you found the video useful, please drop me a comment and let me know if you tried out the Sellics Benchmarker, what you thought of it, and if it's actually helped you improve some of your listings. If I get sort of 50 likes, 50 comments, then I'm happy to throw up my own personal benchmarker and talk to you all about how I did. As always, appreciate everything, appreciate the views, appreciate the likes. It's really helped. Can't believe that we're now over 2,000 subscribers. It's actually quite insane. Any business inquiries, I'll leave my email address in the video description. And please check out this video if you haven't done already. Thanks a lot, guys. See you soon.